Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're about to get started. We're just getting everything ready, getting everything set for our start today. And a warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, it's Dr. Ariel Policano with geniusbiofeedback.com. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We have a lot of great things coming up in our community, including our event of the year, which is going to take place from November 15th through the 17th. And we do need people to volunteer. So if you've been practicing the Genius for a while and you use it for yourself, your family, whatever it might be, we'd love for you to share your success during the summit. We're going to be asking people to share with our audience things about the Genius, and we're going to reward you for your efforts in doing a presentation with several Quanta capsules and other prizes, including or gifts, including our new hologram wristbands and a few other great things. So please give back to our community by sharing your success with other people to inspire them to be part of our event of the year. Please send me a message, Ariel@geniusbiofeedback.com, and just put in the subject line event of the year. I'd love to have you share your success. Now, on October 13th, we're having Robert O. Young. We're hoping to live stream on Rumble so that we can talk about whatever we want. So that is going to be our Frequency of 528 podcast. Our podcast has been on hiatus and we're going to relaunch it. It's going to be Thursday, October 13th at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. Karen McDonald will also be joining us as part of that panel where we're going to ask Dr. Robert O. Young what he's seeing under the microscope related to certain things that start with a J that go like this. I think you know what that is. And also what the effects of that particular thing might be. And he's a very, very amazing researcher and has a lot to share with us. So thank you so much for joining us for that, coming up on October 13th. Now, this class has been running for years, every Monday, but usually around the fall, we just change it a little bit. And we're going to be airing our class at 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock, 1 hour later on Mondays for the cooler months, and then we'll sort of change back again in spring. So let me say it again, 10 o'clock starting next week. And next week will be our trivia contest. So next week, 10 o'clock Pacific time is our trivia contest. We're going to be having lots of great prizes. We actually have some brand new remedy plates. We have some new wristbands that are hologram wristbands. We have a lot of new things to share with you, and we're going to be giving out some of those as prizes for our trivia contest next week. So be sure to join. If you are very good at working with the Genius and you know your stuff, you're going to want to be a volunteer, be part of our trivia contest. So that's going to be at 10 o'clock next week. Now, tomorrow, we have two important events. Let's see if they're actually on our events page here. Okay, so we have both of them. Wow, fantastic. Okay, so the first one is at 8 o'clock Pacific time. 8 o'clock Pacific time, we're going to be talking about Lyme disease. So Benet is going to introduce our practitioner courses. You can get a special discount just for attending her class. She gives out a secret code in her class that you can be a part of, and she's going to be talking about the practitioner courses related to Lyme disease. So Lyme disease, co-infections, all the remedies, the Byron White remedies, the Nutrimetics remedies, the neurological implications. She'll be talking about all of those things. And then at 12 o'clock at noon, please tell your Spanish language friends that Andrea Stone, Andrea, you're probably with us live. Andrea is going to be teaching in Spanish. So she's going to be teaching a basics class, and what she's going to be doing every single week on that day is asking people to volunteer for a scan. So she's going to do a scan, and then she's going to explain things in Spanish. So please share this with your Spanish language folks that they can come for free. For anybody who's interested, who might have a native language of Spanish and they don't know how to navigate through everything, then come and join Andrea. So I'm so excited. She's going to be fantastic at teaching that class. So I really look forward to hearing how that's going. Now, this does say October 10th at 10. We are going to change it after class. We just didn't want to confuse people for this class. So that is what's coming up. And of course, you can see the 13th, which is not correct, but we're going to change this. On October 13th is going to be our interview with Robert O. Young. So that's going to be fantastic. Very, very fun. Now, today we're going to be talking about detox. So what I want to do is just call out for a volunteer. If you'd like to volunteer to have some frequency sent to you today, have a scan by me, then please put your date of birth into the chat area. We're going to be talking about detox, but I'm going to do that as I go through the detox. I'm going to go through the little detox libraries that we have. So also, if we, let's see if we go back here to the Genius Biofeedback website, geniusbiofeedback.com. We've tried to make the website more organized. We've tried to make it easier to search, things like that. And what I want to say is when you come to class, you can go to our blog. So when you come to class, you can go to learn, you can go to the blog, and typically the topic for the day, there'll be some documents right here on the blog. So we're going to be talking about detox. There's a detox process that you can download right here. So just go to the website if you want to get what are the things for today that I can use, then they're all right here. All right, we don't want any of these. Let's see what we can do about this. Let's put the preview there. Okay. So you've got that, and then so we've got a detox process. And then we've also, if we go back here, we've also got an ebook about a detox process. You can download this ebook. That's all. You just have to go to geniusbiofeedback.com and then drop down on the Learn menu and go to the blog. The blog, by the way, has a lot of important information. It also has all of our past trainings. And so you can hang out there and get all the trainings there. Okay, we need a volunteer or a couple of volunteers for today. So, okay, so fantastic. And Andrea, I know you're going to do great. So thank you again for being part of the class. And we'll see how things go tomorrow. I'll be on there with you probably right before when class starts. All right, Danelle, you are the person for us for detox. You did it. You volunteered and you made it. And so we're going to work with you in just one moment. So nice to have you here. So what about detox? When we talk about detoxification, what do we mean? The entire body is metabolic in nature, and it's constantly going through chemical changes. And every time we consume food, we have to break it down and we have to decide what we can keep and what we need to eliminate. As we take in things to our body, we're constantly processing them through our gut, through our liver, and through our kidneys. And from time to time, it's very, very good to revitalize these organs and help them to be better. Otherwise, we'll have sluggish metabolism, we'll have metabolic waste, and as a result, we can see a deterioration in the body. So in order to avoid that, the very best thing to do is to do a detox from time to time. Okay, let me see if I can bring you up here as a panelist, Danelle, and when you do, you should be able to, let's just see where you are here. Yeah, you can unmute that was fast. There you go. And
thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Danelle, how are you?
I'm so great. I just felt like I needed to come on today. So
it was perfect. Like you have good timing. That's like absolutely perfect timing. So fantastic. And tell us a little bit about how things are going with you and utilizing your Genius.
I love my Genius. I tend to use it more for when I have like big problems come up, but I want to use it more consistently, but I love it. My Genius.
When you say a big problems come up, so maybe you get like a cold, a flu, what is the main, you just like, okay, I got to get my Genius out and start using it.
Exactly. For my family or anybody. Yeah. All of us that like or a client. Yeah. If they say something bad is happening, I'm like, let me help you. Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. So what do you think about detoxing?
I would love detoxing. I feel like I just went to a conference this past weekend and ate stuff I usually don't eat. So I feel like I need a detox. So this was perfect.
That's perfect. Oh, you're awesome. Okay, fantastic. Let's get your voice and then we'll get your picture. I will, okay. I got to get the Genius broadcast up here on my reflector. So let me just do that in 1 second here. Where are you joining us from today?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, that's wonderful. And how's the weather there today?
Much better. It's fall, definitely, but it's supposed to warm up for swimming again this weekend. So
I
I'm
guess the
excited.
question probably on everybody's mind is, did you get little remnants of the hurricane?
Yes, we got a little bit of flooding, not nearly as much as I've seen in the past, but yes, we got some.
And yeah, certainly not as much as what that west coast of Florida. They really took it on the chin. I'm
Yes.
glad that you're safe and everything's good and you're
Thank
just
you.
experiencing the fall weather. Well, let's go ahead and record your voice now that I've got the reflector
Sure.
up there. And let's go ahead and record you
Okay.
saying the A-E-I-O-U in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. My name is Danelle Brown Holbrook, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I. Okay.
No, it's absolutely perfect. Well, it's a really interesting little visual of the format. It looks like somebody like putting their arms out, right? And like embracing the world.
Wow. Cool. That is awesome.
That's what you like today too.
Oh my goodness, I feel like that because we just had a church conference and I'm like so inspired to help the world. I love it.
You're in the groove for sure. Okay,
Yes.
let's go ahead and we'll get your picture in just a moment. So did you have to fly or did you drive?
We drove to Winston-Salem. Yeah, it wasn't too far.
Oh, that's not that bad.
No.
That's nice. I mean, anytime you don't have to get on a plane, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we got that image scanned. Now another interesting little thing there. Wow, I don't know. That's fascinating. Okay, so I am going to do some work with you and we'll let you just sit back and enjoy it. And then we'll come back and talk with you in just a little bit. Oh, question? Yeah. Oh, did you have a question?
No, I'm good. I'm just excited to detox.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Danelle.
Thank you.
Sweet. Okay, she's fantastic. All right. So also, as you're sitting there, what questions do you have? Not individual questions like customer service questions or technical challenges, but if you have an inspiring question, a question that if I answered it, it would be really good for everybody to know the answer, feel free. Think of something as you're going through your sessions. What do you need to know? What is something that would help you? And we'll answer your questions because this is also an opportunity for you to ask your questions. I remember many, many years ago, when I first started using the Genius, I'd love to come to weekly classes like this. And I'd be like, I hope she answers my question. I have this question. So if you have a question, then please do put it into the chat and I'll be happy to answer it. Now, a little update. So update. We do not have the new version just yet. The new version is being worked on. The developer is very sensitive about releasing anything at this point that might be disruptive to your work. So he's taking a lot more time to really work on this particular new version. Now, when it comes out, it is going to be amazing, fantastic. It's going to be so great, but he's just really slowing down to take time to make sure that's all correct. Now, if you're using the new version, that being 16.9.8, we really want you, and this is not Android. If you're Android, don't listen to me, go do something else. This is Apple. If you're using 16.9.8 Apple only, we really do want you to revert to 16.9.7. If you don't know how to do that, then send us a message, Ariel@geniusbiofeedback.com, and we'll get you all up and running. So if you're using the new 16.9.8, we don't really want you to do that because it has a lot of bugs in it. So please contact me and we can help you with that. Now, a couple other things that I did want to mention, very, very important, is that we have a new Genius community, a new Genius sharing community where you can ask questions, share your experience. It's really fun. We're posting free guides, education, videos every single day, and it's all cozy and nice and personal and censorship free. You can say anything you want in there. You can ask any type of question. So please join our new Genius community right here. It's called Genius Biofeedback Connect. Genius Biofeedback Connect. And if you go to this website that we're sharing there in the chat, please go ahead and just click on that and just join us there. We'd love to see you there. It's really nice. You're going to see the people are sharing their experience, downloading the guides, joining some of the little training modules that we've created for you. So please do join that community, completely free. The reason I'm mentioning it is because inside the community, where things are not getting blocked from your inbox or censored on Facebook, we can update you more about what we're doing, when that new update is coming out, what version you should be out, if you need a reload link, and we're able to do that really efficiently in that community. So please do join us there. All right, now you're getting to some juicy questions. I absolutely love it. So we're going to talk about your questions in just a moment. Keep those questions coming. I'm going to go back into the chat and answer your questions. Let's look at the aura for Danelle today. We're going to sort of weave your questions in as we do work on Danelle and talk about detox. Have you downloaded the detox processes? So the detox processes are available at our blog. So go to geniusbiofeedback.com, learn, drop down to the blog and see the really cool processes that we have for you there today. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So beautiful aura. Absolutely wonderful. Very, I think she was at a spiritual retreat, and it kind of shows like that. Looks such like a high vibrational color with that, all of that purple indigo, very, very high opening in the higher chakras, like the 6th and 7th chakra. And then down below, just a beautiful connection with the heart, just a really, really nice green color there. Now there's a little bit of some black and gray in there. And that's going to be, I'm a little tired. Maybe the drive was long. I'm just trying to wake up a little bit, get my bearings. And so as we do the Genius session, right, we're going to see a lot of those things start to clear away. And we're probably going to see that beautiful, all the beautiful colors in her aura start to get more and more bright. So fantastic aura to start off with. Let's do basic process number 1. If you want the basic processes, you can send us a message, Ariel@geniusbiofeedback.com. We can send you a list of the basic processes if you've never seen them before. Basic process number 1 is something we go through every single time so we can have some consistency in what we test for, and we can get some basic information about what's going on with her. So we do have hormonal and immune, very, very common. And then lymphatic, something we're always working on. Let's go to the body systems. And, well, it's like, this is like a repeat. I almost thought I was on the same panel. Lymphatic and immune and endocrine and muscular. So maybe a little musculoskeletal stuff from sitting for the weekend. But look, lymphatic, immune, endocrine, this is almost the same as what we saw in today's stress. Hormonal and immune, and then lymphatic. Wow, amazing consistency there. Okay, so then we go down to the organs and we see pancreas and bladder. So common for Westerners to have pancreas and bladder because the pancreas is always working overtime for enzymes with our cooked food and the heaviness and density of a lot of our food. And then the gallbladder is going to be for breaking down fats. But we always see pancreas, gallbladder, a lot of that, and liver coming up again and again in scans. Okay, then let's go to glands. We go to glands, we see pineal, so maybe sleep. So many things that make good sleep that many people, it's very common knowledge now that you want to sleep in a completely dark room, that you want to make sure that you have something to block the blue light after dark, whether it be glasses that you wear or setting your device on something called night shift. If you have an Apple device, and now Android has it too, but in Apple it's specifically called night shift. And what I do is I run my night shift all day. I'm never off of night shift. Let's go to our settings here. And so if we go to settings and we go to display and brightness, and you can see the night shift on mine runs from, see if we can get over here. Night shift runs from 10 o'clock at night to 9:59. I have 1 minute per day where I'm not on night shift. And so the rest of the almost 24 hours, the reason I do that is because it's going to save my eyes. There's a really instrumental Mercola video, and I think it's not available anymore unless you're on his Substack or subscribe to his channel through his website, because he took off a lot of his videos. And anyway, talked with a gentleman from Germany about LED light, and it was absolutely fascinating. That LED light is not at a bandwidth. It's really conducive of good, positive experience of human vision. Human vision is meant to be out in the sunshine and looking at the sunlight, right? So it's a real different from a synthetic light. And LED, unfortunately, is sort of the worst of the worst. I hunt out everywhere to try to get my incandescent light bulbs. I do not use LEDs in any part when I can avoid them. So that is to just say, but why do I have this as less warm and more warm? I put it all the way. The more warm is going to be the more sort of orange, the less blue, and that's going to protect your eyes. Why did we have that long conversation? Because it goes back all the way back to here. The pineal gland, how is it regulating sleep? How is it able to produce melatonin? That is based on the quality of light that you have during the day and the lack of light, or correct light, that you have after dark and at night. So hypothalamus and parathyroid, these are endocrine glands. And so there's definitely some type of stress with the endocrine system. Again, we don't need to know exactly all about it. We just need to balance it. That's the amazing part of utilizing the genius. Okay, so then we go to digestion. This is just something we go through. We run our paces. Mouth could be something going on with dental infection. It could be mouth microbiome. It could be salivation. It could be all types of things, but we want to balance it. Flora, it could be the gut flora. So many people have dysbiosis, so getting fermented foods and some type of probiotic into your rotation is a really, really good idea. It can help tremendously. If your digestive health is good, a lot of your body health is good. So then we go to flower essences, and then we're going to be getting to the detox, and gives us a whole bunch of flower essences. She likes flower essence: centaury, gentian, larch, mimulus. And then all of these: sweet chestnut, vine, crabapple. Crabapple is about cleansing and detox. Beech, red chestnut, rock water. So, you know, it would really be a lot to take all of the flower essences at one time. And you imagine like doing the droppers, and I have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 4 up here. I have to take 10 flower essences. That's expensive, really labor intensive. But the body is sophisticated. It's calling out for all of these frequencies at once. Think of it operating at a higher level of intelligence. How do you get it all those frequencies that it wants from the flower essences at one time? Imagine you could just give it to the body, the being, in a moment. That's what the genius is. You're able to give it those frequencies, that very high complex combination of frequencies, instantly by utilizing the genius in this way. So we could just run these all on quick balance for her for a minute if we wanted to. We could put them, let me just explain the quick balance for 1 second, and we'll just adjust the timer, because I don't really talk about it that often these days. So the quick balance is when you would like to balance all the reds and all the blues, so all 10 of these items on this page, and you don't even have to add them to a tray. You simply tap the quick balance, and it will automatically run the high and low items on any page for the time that you choose. The timer button is on the right side of the screen right here, and goes up and down right here. So this timer bar from 0 to 30, this is the time. It tells you the time right here. So if you ever want to do that for beginners, those of you just recently got your genius, super easy. You don't have to worry about trays. You don't have to worry about what to choose. Quick balance automatically chooses the red and blue items for you. And running it on quick balance for a minute on flower essence is a great way to help people get grounded, to help them to clear out any emotional little percolations or things going on with them. So we'll do that for another few seconds. And we did have a question, so I'm going to weave in some of those questions. Jing says, I've seen acetylcholine so often for most of my clients' assessment. Now that's fascinating, Jing, because I know that you're working with some cognitive issues with your clients these days, based on emails that you've sent me, not mentioning any I don't know any client names or anything like that, but acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter that is important for memory. And so anyone who's having early cognitive impairment or advanced cognitive impairment, you could see acetylcholine. And in fact, we use a remedy called huperzine A, in order to stimulate or increase the acetylcholine for people who are starting to show low acetylcholine production. So very fascinating that you've taken the time to notice that pattern in the clients that you're working with. And we did go to 62% rectification. Just for giggles, let's go back to the aura. And after 1 minute of balancing the flower essences all together on quick balance, what is the change in the aura? Because the change in the aura is your opportunity to see how things change and to learn more about your client based on how frequencies are affecting them. So you could do other things. You could do another therapeutic if you wanted to, and then redo the aura and see how it's been affected. Like, wow, this is amazing. This is almost like a piece of art. So look at what 1 minute of flower essence balancing, 10 flower essence energies at one time, and look at what happened. That is just absolutely beautiful. It's like this really, really bright, ebullient pink, which doesn't have a lot of blockages there. A lot of the blockages are moving to the side. That's 1 minute. And that's because flower essence are so gentle, but they're so powerful because they help people move through those emotional blocks. And usually emotional blocks result in physical symptoms. So let's go ahead and let's look at the two pictures. So we have this one, and then we have this one. Wow. So much brightness and light coming through. Very fascinating. You can do so much positive work through emotional clearing. Now, let's go ahead and go to the general overview. So the general overview in the brand new version, maybe a week, 2 weeks out, is going to include an assessment of all the libraries, not just the Genius, but all of the other libraries as well. For now, let's go ahead and take a peek at the general overview and let's see what's coming up for her. Just as a way to organize things, it actually is not another scan. It's just an organizer of everything in system overview. You now take everything in system overview and organize it from highest to lowest. And let's see what we get. Secretin, which is a hormone related to the gut. L3 may be sitting for a while. We've got pericardium 5. Pericardium is the place in the body, that meridian is a place where a lot of emotions, it's like a protection. When you get a lot of emotion starting to build up, that last sort of place of protection is the pericardium. So after that's going to be sort of like this emotional blow up. So it's a great place of protection where you're getting ready to process these emotions. And then histamine, that could be like food allergies. So it's fun to be able to see what these items are. And then you could just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could do the top 5 items. So it's interesting, L3 and coccyx. So again, maybe some back stuff from sitting, who knows? And then let's see, I tend to edit out the meridians, but there's that lymphatic. So lymphatic is important. Some skin brushing, rebounding, and lots and lots of water, colon cleansing. All of those things help the lymphatics. Alfalfa, alkalizing. Rhodiola, adrenals. Digestion, there's that gut flora. So it tells us now, not only was the gut flora to come up in digestion, but it's actually one of the lowest items of everything that came up, which is interesting. And rhodiola, the need for adaptogens. So I love this general overview because you can look at it and sort of get a different contextual look at everything and learn when something is low, that means it's a very compressed item. It's actually a very important item to the body, to the biofield, to the consciousness, to your innate intelligence. Something is telling you. So it's even more important to pay attention to it, either by running the frequency or even by going a step further. You may want to even get some good gut flora and or some fermented vegetables, some fermented foods. Should a person who has low kidney function do a detox? That is a question for their naturopathic doctor, for their chiropractor, or for their acupuncturist. Low kidney function is it's a great question, Pat, it really is, but it's such a general question. Is this functionally low? Are they on dialysis? I have no idea. But if they're at risk in some way for their kidney function, they need to check with their doctor first. You would not be the one to make that decision for them, right? They would need to be cleared with the doctor. But it is a good question. Deborah says, sometimes a library with a very high 700s, when I go into it, all the items are green. What would she know? We should know about this. I would have to say that it's unfortunate. This is not it's almost like you have to understand it's sort of one of the weaker points of the program. The Genius has amazing aspects to it, but the way that this particular drill down works, Deborah, I would try not to get hung up on it. Like you have all these like question marks, like question mark, question mark. Don't get hung up on this particular thing. Let me attempt to explain it. When items in the system overview are compared to each other, they're compared to each other over the whole spectrum of the system overview. The system overview gives you a comparison as they are compared to each other, not to the entire world, to each other. So everything in here, out of everything in here today, it told us that digestion was a great priority. Minerals are a great priority. Bach flower essences, solfeggio tones. Does that mean that absolutely nothing in, try to get something. So these are all green, that we shouldn't pay attention to anything tells us green. Herbs are 126. Does that mean that there's nothing in herbs that could be beneficial? So when we go into herbs, of course, there are reds and blues here. Chaparral could be a wonderful herb, usually for underlying infections. Alfalfa, again, and well, we saw rhodiola, that's actually because it's in the general overview, which is just stacks it up. It's not actually appearing twice. So, but anyway, so alkalizing and then adaptogen. So only compared to these other things, it's telling us what the priorities is. It never tells us don't check these yellow and green items. You should always check yellow and green items if they are important to your case or you want to use them. Now, she asked also, sometimes, let me see if I can find one that would be likely to be like that. Also, sometimes when something is very high, red or blue, 700, I go in there and there's no reds or blues in there. It's a total ripoff. Why did I take that time to push my finger and actually look at that library? Oh my gosh, I got so deceived by it. So let's just say, let me see if I can find something that only has some reds and some doesn't have any reds and blues. Of course, now we can't really find one. This would be a good example though. So if neurotransmitters was high, let's just say it had been 700 right here. And then we went into neurotransmitters and there was nothing that was red or blue. This is one of, I say, the weaker aspects of the program, because the program always gives you sort of a splay of information and it's testing up and down. And there's going to be sort of a spectrum of results. But when the population being tested is small, it's going to be less likely to give you reds and blues. So if you go into a very teeny tiny panel, you're probably not going to see any high highs or low lows. So you had something that was a 700, you went in there and you're like, gosh, golly, I can't even believe I had to tap on this, because now where are the reds and the blues? And so it's because it's a small population. The better thing to do is to sort of widen your own spectrum of what you consider to be important. So if this, let's just say, well, I can't even scroll this up here, but let's just say it stopped here. It went from GABA down to oxytocin, GABA being 596 and oxytocin being 169. So now I would shorten that and I would consider GABA and glutamate to be much more important. That's telling you a couple of things, Deborah. You can take that one overarching one. It's saying the whole one should be utilized because it was red or blue. Oh my goodness. So you could take that minerals and put it into the tray and you can utilize it. And then you can just basically lower that spectrum, that range that you're choosing from. So in neurotransmitters, again, you would choose everything from like 596 down to 169. I would try to understand that it's a little bit of a weakness in the program. It's not perfect, but that's why you sometimes see those scenarios. Dale Ann says, do you recommend a detox before or after having a mercury filling removed? So absolutely should you utilize your Genius for this. You want to open up your organs of your emunctories, your organs of elimination, being your digestive system, the liver, the kidney, the skin, anything that you can do for a detox with the frequencies or actual detox before and after. And we almost really should do a detox after all dental work, because it's quite a strain, even with the anesthetic and all the cutting and drilling and things that are being done, those cause interference fields. So any type of detox before and after, maybe some arnica, some hypericum, which is another homeopathic really good for when you're working with nerves, like St. John's wort, but it's hypericum in the homeopathic form is very, very good. Let's get to detox. So there's not a lot in the main part of the program. So let's go right to, but anytime you do clean up your digestion, you're probably going to start to detoxify. The biggest prevention or blocker from you detoxifying is the food that you're consuming. The minute you stop consuming food, you start just drinking water, master cleanse, juicing. There's so much energy left. There's so many enzymes left where you don't have to break down your food that the body actually switches cycles and it goes into detox. So the less sort of really dense, really heavy foods that you eat, the more energy your body naturally has every day to do detox. Detox means cleanup. Detox means repair. That's why we want to take that time to do some detox. Now we do have this cool library series, which is the Detox. It's called a 10-week detox. And what it does, you would spend 2 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 6. I think what we did is we recommended it would be 6. Wow. How do we do that? 6 and 4. And so it would be at least 2 systems done twice. And then, so that if we took 2, if we did 6, then that would be 12 weeks. Why do we make it a 10-week detox? All right. What we wanted to do is we wanted to take people through each system, and some of the systems we did for longer than 1 week. So if we did 6, then we would repeat 4 of them. Now I'm starting to remember. So it's a 10-week detox program where you could do all of these every time. You could do all the systems for all the 10 weeks, or you could do 1 system per week and then repeat 4 of these systems. So let's look at it. So digestive cleanse, kidney, liver, lung and lymph, microbiome, and parasites. So this is a powerful, powerful detox because it goes through all of the different systems. Let's look at the systems. All right, so digestive cleanse, again, the digestion, the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine. You want to clean up the digestion in order to allow the body the energy and the freedom to detox. If the body has to be engaged in breaking down the food, breaking down the fats, eliminating them, it doesn't have enough room, or it doesn't have enough energy to do the housekeeping of the body. And in a lot of ways, that's how people get sick, because they don't take that time to really rest and really revitalize the body and really clean up the body. You could do it every day. If you have mostly plant-based diet, and you're not eating really high fat and high protein, you're probably doing a little bit of detox every day, especially with a high fiber diet. But it's good to take some specific time, especially with the change of seasons. Summer to fall being one of the best, and spring to summer. Those are 2 great times that you just naturally feel like you want to do a detox to help you transition into the new season. Okay. We do not have the full screen. We only have you in the full screen. Okay. As anybody else, has this not been screen sharing the whole time? But do you see the screen? Okay, Margaret, thank you so much for helping Elaine. I appreciate it. Okay. All right, thank you. So do you add the rest of the system overview, reds and blues, at some point? Do you add the rest of the reds and blues at some point? Yes, I understand why you asked that, Mardell, and it's interesting. You probably asked it before I referred back to it. You can always, let me just stop the detox for a second and we'll go back to it. You can always add in your reds and blues. I don't do it when I do basic process number 1, but you can always go, okay, solfeggios were red and blue. Let's go. And this is actually what she was asking about. So here there are no reds and blues, but I don't let that bother me. I just pick the highest highs and the lowest lows. And so I don't worry about it. We already did the Bach flower essences. Then the minerals, you could take the highs and lows of the minerals. Calcium is, it almost might be, I wonder if you take calcium supplements. No, you probably don't. But something about calcium, usually calcium is not too low. We don't really want to supplement calcium. You get calcium from lots of green leafy vegetables. Maybe it's something about alkalizing. So yes, you could definitely go back and get those reds and blues. Okay. If we treat people from a distance, should I put the wave intensity up since they won't be listening to the frequencies? That's a misperception about what wave intensity means. Upping the wave intensity to reach people at a distance is not a correct understanding of quantum physics or the remote frequencies. I don't even think the wave intensity should exist because I think it's very like misleading. You don't need it. You don't need, and it's not going to help anybody at a distance to get a higher wave frequency. They just need to be sent the frequencies. The minute that you send the frequencies, it reaches their innate intelligence at the level that they can receive it. And so there's absolutely no reason whatsoever really to use that higher. I think it's more mental than anything else. And I think from a perspective of quantum physics, it doesn't really make any sense. It may be working more specifically when you're actually at the device, and so it could be shifting the wave that you're receiving at the level of the device, much like a Rife frequency generator. Carol said, where did you go for general overview? Okay, Carol, in order to go to general overview, you tap system overview one time. It's easy to miss. So when you tap it one time, it takes you to this general overview. Handy dandy little tip there. So just going back again, go back to Detox right here. Okay, fantastic. Why do you tend to edit out the meridians in general overview? Because they're overrepresented. That's what people love to ask about that. They're overrepresented. You can utilize them. There's like maybe, let's see, meridians, there's like 12, and then there's at least 10, there's more, 100, so that'd be 120, 240. There's like 300 separate meridian points. And so they have a imbalanced representation when you're looking from high to low in the general overview. And so there's too much information. I don't want to analyze all those meridians, and I don't know all the meridian points. So it becomes too much information. And so that's why I edit them out. Would you suggest a detox before and after surgery? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, fantastic. Okay, yeah, these are great questions. So thank you for bringing it with the questions. You can continue to ask questions. We'll go back and look at those questions. What questions do you need answered about the genius? Pancreas 1552 hertz, large intestine tonic 880 hertz. These are programmed Rife frequencies. Plantain, intestinal inflammation 1550 hertz. Interesting. So you would run those frequencies. You could run them for a week. You could run them every time you run the detox frequencies, but this is going to be focused specifically on the digestive system. Now, kidney bladder. So juniper, classic herb for the kidneys. Linden. So the kidneys are going to be, they're constantly processing different drugs, different chemicals. They also break down protein. So if you have a very high protein diet, your kidneys are going to work overtime. So we want to be gentle on the kidneys and not give them too much high density, high nutrients if we can help it, and give them a break over time with some detox. Allow the nephron system to revitalize itself and to work better to break down those proteins from amino acids into urea and so forth. So that's what it does, because otherwise those proteins have a byproduct of ammonia and they can be quite toxic. That's why if their kidneys don't work, they would need dialysis, or they like get soaked or steeped in their own toxins. So the kidneys are an important part of detoxifying the body and eliminates that which is not needed, and actually recycles a lot of minerals or reuptakes a lot of minerals through the tubule system that may be needed at that time, like electrolytes. All right. So then it says clear bladder infection. So this could be something that's, reduced bladder inflammation and bladder cleanse. Oh, isn't that interesting? And so this may be not something the person's aware of. It could be underneath the surface. A lot of us are carrying around, subclinical infections we don't know about in different parts. And it's good to see these from time to time and to run frequencies for them. Okay, uva ursi, cranberry, interesting clear kidney deposits, do a kidney flush. These are all programmed rife frequencies. Goldenrod, great kidney herb. Dandelion leaf. Now, those of you who've not been around for a long time, I go all the way up often to 200 because I find that anything 200 and under is very, very relevant. Anything that is 600 and over. So there's a common theme about the bladder here. Very, very fascinating. Now we go from kidney, we go to we go to liver. Liver and gallbladder. We know the liver does something like over 500 chemical processes in the body. It's important for producing something called bile. Bile helps us to break down fat. It actually detoxifies anything in the body that could be toxic to us. It goes through chemical process to detoxify and make it less toxic and ultimately eliminate it. So yellow dock, wonderful liver herb, marshmallow, good for really soothing gut inflammation. Celandine or chelidonium, wow, that's a powerful, powerful liver detoxification herb. So looks like some liver detox here is called for. Artichoke, another great liver detox herb that helps us to it helps us to produce glutathione. Bupleurum, another Chinese herb for the liver. Wow, really good ones. The quercetin is interesting because it helps to stabilize histamine. So I wonder if there's some food reactions going on because we've kind of seen it in a couple of places. Alpha lipoic acid is one of the most powerful antioxidants you could ever hope to take to protect yourself. So sort of everyone should consider taking a form of alpha lipoic acid. It's very protective. It's a great antioxidant, so it's going to protect you from the effects of aging, natural metabolism, but especially important for anyone who has blood sugar issues. So you have up and down blood sugar. If you have outright diabetes, alpha lipoic acid can really protect you against the oxidative effects of that high blood sugar issue. It's an excellent, excellent protective antioxidant for everybody. It could be something you could consider one of the most important supplements to take, along with glutathione would be another one. Schizandra, another one specifically for the liver, those beautiful red schizandra berries. L-glutamine feeds the enterocytes of the small intestine and helps to resolve leaky gut. So a few other ones, chlorella. I do see some hints of like maybe we need to alkalize a little bit more throughout the testing here. N-acetylcysteine helps to feed and build up levels of glutathione. Oregon grapefruit, an excellent, excellent detoxifier, and contains an important constituent called berberine that can be really helpful for the immune system as well as for the liver. Although 334, that wouldn't normally include that, but it just goes from going up to about 200. But that caught my eye. I love Oregon grapefruit so much, so we'll include it. Okay, so then we would go from here, we go to lung and lymph. Ease of breathing, lung tonification, echinacea, mullein, really good if you have an active lung issue. Optimize. Now, this is wonderful because we don't have to wait for the lungs to get pneumonia or get bronchitis. We can tonify, detox, and tune up the lungs from time to time. We can strengthen them. We can do preventive medicine. And sometimes there's an emerging lung issue that we don't recognize until we get sick. So it's good to do these tonifying herbs. Cleanse allows you to sort of go through the different systems of the body and tune them up with some herbs, get them ready for wintertime, get them prepared. And the Genius helps you to discover where your weak spots are. Where are all the frequencies coming up? Where are those reds and blues coming up? Maybe they're all coming up in the lung. I wonder if my lungs are they're weaker than I expected. Well, yeah, I haven't been exercising as much. I want to get them ready, prepared for the winter. Maybe I should do some deep breathing exercises, things like that. Okay. Mardell says adding just the umbrella red or blue from system overview could be enough because they carry a number of frequencies. I don't know. There's some things that are in the Genius that you just think, my goodness, they are the cause of more questions than are worthy of them. Let's talk about Mardell's question. Let's see if we can do this. So minerals, when we pick minerals, this is just one frequency that represents minerals for whatever the developer did, one frequency. But in the new version, when you pull this minerals, it's going to pull all of the sub frequencies. So not now, but in the new version, it will pull all the sub frequencies. So to answer your question, Mardell, not currently, just one frequency when you select it, but in the new version, we will have the other frequencies. Now, just a couple of other things to mention that we have, and we'll go through the rest of the systems. We have a library called Detox Frequencies, which is radionics rates. Radionics rates are another expression of numbers as healing frequencies. And so here we have support. This 44 to 41 is a radionic rate, or just like it's another way of saying frequency. Support and stimulate all the subtle lymph system fields. So lymph keeps coming up again and again, or Danelle, it's so interesting. Subtle fields associated with the kidney and bladder. Fascinating. Balance all meridians on subtle levels. Saturate subtle fields with love and white light. Detox all the subtle fields of the aura. Release negative patterns associated with toxins. That's interesting. When you take in something that's toxic, maybe like alcohol, it sort of carries with it a negative pattern or negative imprint. That's kind of fascinating. Then we have another one. Isn't it coming up? Detoxification. Oops. Yeah, we have detoxification. We have a global detox with rife frequencies. So there's a detoxification that's all rife frequencies. For cellular detoxification, gallbladder detoxification, radiation detox. That's interesting that radiation detox and clear is coming up so high. And that's very fascinating. A plastics detox, because anytime we've eaten out of plastic, drinking out of plastic, we're affected by the plastics. A kidney detox, so it's a complex, rife frequencies. Clear auto intoxication. Auto intoxication is actually when you eat food and you don't break it down or eliminate it, the food becomes toxic in your body, the overflow, the inability to clear those foods. And so you're actually, as it's in your bloodstream, it's causing toxins of the very foods or, alcohol or whatever it is that you put into your body. And so that's called auto intoxication. Less alcohol, more things that you're not able to break down properly. And so they become toxic in your body because you're not able to break them down properly or eliminate them. Glutathione for liver detoxification, lymph system optimize. Again, all the themes that come up here. So fascinating. A general detox, a complex, this is really a good library, detoxification, rife frequencies. That's a complex rife frequency, digestive detoxification, lymph drain, detox, liver, kidney, lymph and intestines, bladder, kidney tune-up, kidney detoxification, clear toxins from the digestive system, purify the blood. I love energetic detox because you can get so much accomplished, in such a short amount of time. And also you raise your level of awareness. What are my weak spots? What do I need to focus on? Let's not keep that a mystery anymore. Let's reveal what we need to know, right? To do this properly is what the problem is, so we can address the problem, either bring more energy to the place where we're weak or actually do some lifestyle changes in that particular area. Why would you want all of the sub-frequencies in your tray? Mardell, you're asking an excellent question, and I would love it if you'd ask the developer that question, because what I told the developer is if you're going to pick an umbrella, then the umbrella should carry, if you just pick minerals, it should carry the reds and the blues instead of all the frequencies. So he didn't think so. He disagreed. And what he says goes unless the community says something else. So you should tell him if he's going to do an umbrella, it should only be the reds and the blues. You and I speak the same language. Okay, so on the 21-day detox, on the website is a actual 21-day detox that teaches you in classes, and a 21-day, you get one guide per day that tells you an affirmation to say, foods to eat, and tips about detoxing. And educates you about the detox process over 21 days. So you get an email every day, you get a detox menu, you get education about the detox. It does come with a library called Frequencies to Play During a Juice Fast. Frequencies to Play During Juice Fast. We have that here, which is here. Detoxification used during a juice fast. So when you're actually doing a detox, you could use these. Liver and detoxifier, regenerator now, nutrition. My phase 1 liver detox works well. My body releases toxins. Colon cleanse, pectin fiber. Interesting, soluble versus an insoluble fiber. A lot of people can't tolerate psyllium, but they can tolerate pectin. So this would be the library that goes with that. Oh, let's see all the green items in there. All right. So let's just see if we missed anything of them. We did the Rife. DesBio has some detox formulas as well. If you get the DesBio remedy library. Then we have the detoxification Rife frequencies. We talked about these, and then we just have regular detox libraries, which is the 10-week library, and then the radionics library. So we have lots and lots of things dedicated to detox because detox is so very, very important. So we sort of left off with this one. So let's just do this quickly. So this is all about the microbiome. Down here, you can see the microbiome. Oh, fermented sauerkraut. Okay, and then parasite clear. So a lot of parasite Rife frequencies and natural remedies right here. Marshmallow keeps coming up again and again for her. There does seem to be some intestinal inflammation based on just the repetition, the amount of frequencies we've seen kind of saying histamine, intestinal inflammation, things like that. Wild American ginseng, definitely out of all of these, it's more asking for an adrenal regeneration with the rhodiola and the Wild American ginseng root. Sometimes you have to get your body energy up just to be able to do a detox. So clear toxins from the digestive system. Asclepias is for the lungs. Asclepias tuberosa. Cape aloe is to reduce that inflammation in the gut and the intestines. Interesting. Celandine chelidonium, really, really powerful liver detoxifier. A 396, it's a solfeggio. Detox all the meridians on the subtle levels, detox all the subtle fields. Chicory, another wonderful liver detoxification herb. Mimulus, beech, and sweet chestnut. We'll look at those in a minute. Okay, on the umbrella topic, it would be useful to have the ones above 600 and 200, not reds and blues. Oh, yeah, Daniel, I like you're sort of getting into the nuance of it, but yeah, you could send that suggestion to Ryan as well. Instead of the reds and the blues, the 600, the above 600 and below 200 should go in the tray. So that's a whole other thing, a whole other discussion, whether reds and blues should be everything above 600 should be red, everything below 600 or below 200 should be blue. Now, the developer said he was changing that, but then he didn't change it. So I don't know what happened there. You can tell him all of your suggestions. So chicory is finding good boundaries and respecting others' space, but I'm not sure if we had it as a flower essence or if it came through as an herb. Mimulus is about releasing fear. Beech is just becoming less self-critical, more self-accepting. And this is from the desk reference success cards. Everybody who has the upgraded package or higher should have these in their tool chest, or you can get them on the website, geniusbiofeedback.com, and look up the success desk reference cards. And sweet chestnut is clearing out anxiety. We went to 39% rectification. We'd always like to see it just a little bit higher than that, but since we didn't have that much time, let's just go back and we're going to talk with Danelle just a mini second here. Let's just see what the aura came to here after doing those frequencies. Would it be powerful to add miasms and ancestral limiting beliefs? That's a very creative way to consider a detox. You're sort of doing a very core level detox. It's beyond the scope of what we're discovering today, but certainly would be a great idea, Rachel. I think it's very, very creative on your part to think of that. Whoa, what a fascinating aura. There seems to be a lot of energy opening up right here. Look at all the energy opening up right here. All beautiful heart healing. This is beautiful seventh chakra opening. And I love the sort of the rainbow effect of the whole thing. Just really bright colors, looking absolutely wonderful. Let's see if we can talk to Danelle for just a moment to find out how all the frequencies sort of landed with her, what she experienced as we were going through her session. So Danelle, what are your thoughts about the scan?
Yes, I love that. I have all the intestinal inflammation is coming up for me a lot. I eat too many proteins and beans and all sorts of things, high fiber, high protein things normally. And then I think I got some food allergies from this weekend, eating foods I normally.
The histamine for sure.
And bladder
every
is
once in a
always
while, it's okay.
My bladder has always a problem because I swim in the lake all summer. So I think
there you go.
In the fall always. And just, I do have a lot of histamine issues, I feel like. And yeah, everything you said was pretty much on spot of what symptoms I
Very
experienced.
cool. That's always fun when you get to see that. Well, I think that you do have a Quanta capsule. Would you be able to shoot me the email in the chat and we can send the
Yes.
frequencies to your Quanta capsule?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Thank you so much for volunteering today. It was really fun to go through, and I'll just also reconnect with you. So thank you.
Yes, thank you for doing that too. I really appreciated it. It's awesome. I love
Fantastic.
the aura. It's so
And
beautiful.
beautiful, beautiful auras. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just looking up her Quanta capsule email. Okay. So fantastic. So remember, on October 13th, we are going to be interviewing Dr. Robert O. Young, and he's going to know more about the genius. We're going to know more about what he's doing. I want to thank so much Clan Mother Karen for arranging that. She's going to be part of our panel, and we may be live streaming from Rumble for the very first time. So we're going to look into it. By the way, Rumble has become so much more user-friendly. I think there's going to be a mass migration from a certain platform to Rumble. So if you've never been to Rumble, start an account. You can subscribe to channels like Genius Biofeedback is on there. And we did a great class with Karen recently, and all of her great tips are on. We did Rumble because a lot of things that Karen says in telling us the truth, we cannot say in certain platforms, and we'd like to tell you the truth. And so Rumble is a much, much better place to do that. Wonderful place to do that. Let's try to go here. And so hopefully we'll be live streaming from our podcast from Rumble for that day, October 13th, to share with you all the information, the real uncensored information from Dr. Robert O. Young. Now you can sign up for the live Zoom by going to the frequency of 528 podcast. And if you're signed up for the podcast, you'll get the notification about the live podcast with Dr. Robert O. Young. So you can be on the Zoom, and then we'll tell you about the whole Rumble piece. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to send the frequencies to her capsule. So let's go ahead and we'll do 2 exports for her. This idea came from Dale. So Dale, thank you so much. What we're going to do is we're going to send the high items, which is, got to get her email in here. So, go to the events calendar to learn more, and go to our blog to get all the handouts from today. So geniusbiofeedback.com, make sure you go to learn, and then go to our blog, and you'll see all the handouts from today, and then go to the events calendar, and then you'll have all the events. Let's see if I did that.
You need to add a B in there.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I was trying to catch you before.
Yeah. I should just try to copy and paste it. Let's see if I can do that from the
copy and paste. There you go.
But thank you for telling me, because it wouldn't have gone through. For some reason, I don't think it won't let me paste. Let's see if I can do a little V. No, that's so funny. Out of all the places, I think, oh wait, I know why, because I was doing it on the computer. It has to go to the iPad. So thank you so much for doing that. Okay. Oh, it says the email is not registered with the Quanta Cap. So even though we did that, it's saying it's not registered, my dear one. So let's go ahead and try to find out what's going on with that. We did spell it exactly from your email. So you know what? Don't worry about it right now. Just go ahead and try to find it, figure it out in the next couple of minutes, and then shoot me an email and let me know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it says it's not associated. Maybe we never activated it. Maybe we gave it to a client or some goodness like that. But you'll figure it out. If you figure it out in the next 30 seconds, send me a chat. All right. So quickly, and Justina, thank you so much and welcome. Thank you for being part of our Genius Biofeedback community, and welcome to one of our newer users. All right. Okay, so put your stuff on liberty.com. They're totally uncensored. I'll check it out. There's a lot of new ones, and we get kind of spread out, but Rumble is really emerging as one of the more significant ones. Now we did have, let's just go a couple of extra minutes here. We did have a question from Malika. Malika said, when listening to frequencies on the capsule, does one need significant volume, or is it effective on very low volume? Absolutely 100% effective even if they just play it at just audible levels. So if they played it just audible, and they could play something else simultaneously in the background. They could play a different device, listen to frequencies that they like better, or music that they like better. They just need it at just almost sub-audible. Just as long as they can perceive that they're listening to it, they're good to go. So hopefully that helps you for people who find it, they don't like those tones. And Heidi, you have a long kind of piece here about gastroenterologist, etc., what you can do is you can email me personally. So send me an email, ariel@geniusbiofeedback.com. But when you think about a complex case, you don't have to think about it like a doctor would think about it. Think about it in pieces. What are the systems that is affecting the person? Their digestion, their kidneys, their liver, their muscles. And then what we do as genius practitioners is we send the energy to those particular places. So what is involved? What is the systems that contribute to this particular issue? And always think about emotions. So think about flower essences, emotions, emotion code, all these things, and then combine them together. You as a biofeedback practitioner are an energetic director. You need to know where you should be directing the energy, but you don't need to know things just like a doctor. You're not a surgeon. You don't need to worry whether you're taking out the pancreas or the spleen. You don't need to worry. Just need to figure out a few systems that would be instrumental in sending frequencies. So things that you mentioned, scan organs, sure. You go with the digestive system, go with just go with digestive balancing, go with detox, go with some emotions. You'll be fine. You'll be doing amazing work way beyond what other wink, wink, nod, nod certain people are doing to try here. So you can do an amazing job just by figuring out what the relevant systems are that you need to direct the energy to, because they're lacking that energy. And then you bring the energy to them, and then that's how it works. So fantastic, that worked. Let's do one more. And so now we're going to give her the opportunity. She can either just run the high items, or she could just run all the items if she wants to. And then we're going to go to share here. We're going to paste in her email address. That was the correct one. And that's a very common issue with our clients, is that they give us the wrong email address. It's a common issue with clients, but we can overcome it. All right. And Heidi, congratulations on getting your genius. Definitely get in touch with me. I'll be happy to give you some more tips and guidance. So please, connect. And next week, 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern. So be ready for that new time, but come ready to win some prizes. We're going to be doing a trivia contest next week, asking you, what is the neuro remedy? What are synergistics? What is a sawtooth wave? Or can you describe what it does? So if you are an expert at the Genius and you like to win stuff, be sure to join us next week at 10 o'clock a.m. for the Monday live training. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you then. Take care. Be well. Bye-bye for now.